And
oh, yes. What? You? Me. It's Dolly and Anita. We're going to be back in 10 seconds.
And we're live. Thank you so very much for joining us again tonight at the DNA Authority. I am Dolly Cortez.
And I'm Anita Myers. And today is Wonder Woman Wednesday. And we are so excited to have our guest chef here to talk to us about the power of detox and cleansing.
We'll be right back. Hola. How you doing, Anita Myers Powers?
Hola. Well, I am doing okay, but technologically, I'm really just not, because all I wanted to do was share the show. So you know what that means? I can't share the flippin' show because it just is like on a pause. It won't let me keep scrolling so that I could share it. So that means any viewers that are watching this right now, guess what you get to do? You get to share the show. Share it.
I'm trying to do it too, and I'm messing it up.
Share the show, like the show, tell others about the show.
And tag us while you're at it, will you?
What's that?
Tag us while you're at it.
Yeah. It's just what it is. I keep thinking every day is Mercury in retrograde because that's just how it feels. But other than that, it's been great. It's been good. It's been good. Busy good. Always busy good. How about you?
I feel good. I feel bright today. This blouse is like
my favorite color is black, and my second favorite color is charcoal, and then gray. It looks good. You can wear those colors really well, and I can too. It's just I don't know. I always like wearing.
I think you do look beautiful in color. You do. You just have to give it a shot, girlfriend. So yeah, I'm doing fantastic. I can honestly tell you, oh my God, Anita, I'm always busy, and but I feel like I'm going 10x on my schedule, and I'm just running. I'm like, last night, I think I went to sleep around 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. And
why? What's wrong with you?
7:30.
I don't need to judge. Work.
Well, I have a lot of things going on. A lot of good things happening. But we have a lot of. I'm overwhelmed.
Well, the best thing I can tell you, not that you're asking for a solution. I know that sometimes we just vent and we want to vent with no solution.
Oh, it's not venting. I feel great. This is good stuff.
Yeah, this is, just keep doing the thing that you needed when you were born, which is breathing. Just keep breathing through these things. And, that's all you have when your mind's like, do this next. And then you have other people. I know the feeling of that overwhelm. I go through it myself, but sometimes I'm like, you know what? I really have to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. And I don't.
Been there.
I just sit, I'm like, okay, I'll be right back. It'll be really quick. And then I'll turn the water. But sometimes it's like you got to get yourself together, and you don't want to, like in my situation, I don't want to excuse myself to go up to my bedroom to get away, because then it's the natural, like, what's wrong? Something's wrong with mom, or what's wrong? Oh, what?
No, you know what? honestly, like for me, I just have a lot of projects. I wrote everything out. I had like 35 different projects on my to-do list. And believe me when I tell you, I've been knocking them out. I have been knocking them out. But I just added three more. Actually, I added five more over the weekend. So,
Okay.
I'm knocking them out, but I'm adding. And I'm knocking them out and I'm adding. So am I ever going to catch up? Probably not. But it's okay. It's okay because things happen for a reason. I believe in it. And then my husband and I, my cutie pie sexy man, and I, we are doing something fun together, and it's a meditation 21-day challenge thing that we're doing together, and it's really cool.
How are you fitting a meditation, which it is, yes, you do definitely need one, but that means you've got to squeeze that into all your
We're
35.
making it a priority.
That's a very good word.
Yeah.
Prioritization.
Priority.
Oh,
Actually,
that's good.
we are actually, okay, so you and I had this conversation before about how we should spend so much time on ourselves. So this is part of our self-care. Okay. And like I think it was like 10% we should be giving to ourselves out of a 24-hour period, which is 2 hours and 40 minutes. Right? Is that right? Anywho.
Not for me.
Anywho.
I'm not giving myself 2 hours and 40 minutes in a 24-hour. No, I give myself much more than that.
In a 24-hour period. Exactly.
Come on now. Are you kidding me?
Well, no. So we're giving ourselves. We do like this assignment. This is a challenge that we joined with this other group, and so we're doing this assignment that it takes maybe around 15-20 minutes to complete, and then afterwards we're doing this meditation with Deepak Chopra, and then after that we actually pray. So
Okay.
it's beautiful. I love it. I'm enjoying it. It's awesome. It's relaxing. So that's why we're making it a priority for us. So.
That's great. That's great. I think that's one thing we can do in terms of, learning how to shut the F up with the rest of the world and just bring ourselves to a nice centered place, get ourselves grounded. And you're doing this with the one you love, which is even better. And then what else is really good to help us, kind of cleanse our mind? Like what?
Ice cream?
Well, it's made with coconut milk. Many years ago.
Starbucks vanilla latte.
Oh my goodness. So a million years ago, it seems, I was introduced to a wonderful, wonderful lady who was like rocking the whole health world in the health club that you know her because we brought her on the show as one of our guests, Nicole Munir. So she was my health coach when I first got on board at the gym. Anyway, long story short, she she introduced me to the concept of detoxing. Like I've heard it, but when it's one thing to hear it in articles and shows, but it was another when you meet someone face to face who's like, this is what you're going to do. And I remembered that, when I heard the things that I'd have to leave, like bread and dairy and what was it? Bread, dairy and sugar. Okay. Those were my boyfriends. Those were my boyfriends. Those are the kind of boyfriends that you sneak and see at night that nobody knows. Okay. So those are the boyfriends that I had that got me through feeling bad from the real boyfriends that I had. And so
chocolates, bring this, bring that.
So I had to come to terms with the concept of cleansing. Okay. I had to come to terms with, I didn't think about the word cleansing so much as I started to think once I finally let go of these, what I call, they were like bad boyfriends for me. So I wrote a letter to all three of them saying, it's not you, it's me. Or it's not even me, it's really you. But I wrote this letter to them to kind of let them go and tell them that they have been really ruining my life. So I went on this 30-day cleanse and a detox and a cleanse. And in the beginning, it felt really uncomfortable. And now if we all understood what that's about is, we've given our bodies this habit. And the habit was a bad habit, but it's naturally craving those things. So once you get away from it, your body's like, wait a minute, where'd you go? Where's my bad boyfriend? Where's the one that I would see in the middle of the night making naughty? Where is that bread? Where's the sugar? Where's the dairy? So the ice cream and everything. It was really tough in the first week for me, week and a half, but then I pushed through it. And once that second and third week showed up, I felt very like, it was funny. I was like, dun, da, da, like, wow, this is crazy. So I documented it, and I have to say, I think it's really worth giving it a try. But in this whole story, I got to learn about it, why that's so important, and what it does to heal your body. And then having our guest that's going to be coming on in a moment, she's someone that is such a her abilities are in creating food, and creating meals from foods and fruits and things that we don't think to put them together to make it happen. We don't think of those things. We just go and buy from the store ready made. And she tells you, we can actually do this at home. And I get very happy when you've seen it
Well, you know what? I love our guest. I think she's absolutely fantabulous. She's one of my favorite people on this planet. I think she's incredibly talented, and I can't wait to bring her on. But before we do, we're going to take a quick break.
All right.
Awesome. So let's bring her in.
All right. Come on down, Annette Licitra, Chef Annette. Here she is.
Yes. Hello, darling.
Hey, ladies. How are you?
We're doing
good.
Fantastic. How are you?
I'm good. I'm doing well. Thank you.
Well,
Awesome.
in case any of you viewers are new to the DnA Authority, and there's people that have followed us since we were on something called Be Live, and we worked on a different platform. But from the very beginning, we had our show that was the Power Hour. Then we made a change to the 24-hour. What? Oh my gosh!
24/7 Power Hour.
I could never get that one right, but yes, that. And now here we are on the DnA Authority, and Chef Annette Licitra has been with us throughout the whole thing. And we've mentioned to you that we have quarterly guests. These are the ones that we've intentionally chosen because the information that they give, their allegiance with us, we're very fond of what they have to offer to viewers like you. So we were really glad that, when she said yes, it's a great opportunity to be able to learn what Annette, she's given her history in the past. You might give a little bit right now, but, take some notes when you're hearing what she has to say, because the information, it is out there in writing. You can sit and read articles and watch things, but she's the real deal. She's someone who can actually, if you're in the Chicagoland area, you have access to seeing her, working with her, and learning from her. And her food isn't just healthy. It's like delicious, healthy, and it's pretty. Like,
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
So welcome.
Well, thank you.
Welcome back.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, I appreciate it. This is
So,
it's
Annette, if you
fun.
don't mind, like for a quick moment, because we've got some things to share. But do you mind, in case there's some new folks that are on here and they don't know, they're like, who's this pretty lady here? Can you tell them a little bit about who you are, what you do, a little summary?
Yeah, thank you for having me. So yes, my name is Annette Licitra, and my business is called Passionette Palette. So it is a play on my name. So Annette, Passionette, and I'm a certified holistic health coach and also a wellness chef. So I do a lot of, I specialize mostly in like plant-based and gluten-free cooking and teaching. I do a lot of virtual cooking classes. I do in-person cooking classes. I also have a health coaching immersion course available and a cleanse coming up. So it's a 14-day cleanse. All of this is virtual. So I do, like I said, some in person here and there, but it just depends on who wants to do that. And then a little bit of catering as well. So that's my business. So a little bit about me.
She's a little busy. And she's a monthly contributor to Dolly the magazine.
Yes.
Right. Yes, you are. And she is always hanging out with us.
That's right. And the thing that I want to emphasize about Annette is, you heard her company name is Passionette Palette. And it's really perfect for her because if you get to know her more and more, as you follow her and you see the things that she does, you'll realize that she truly is passionate about her food. So, today, every time that we get her on, we're always asking her, what is it that she can provide the viewers? That'd be a quick thing to eat. If you're trying to learn how to make something quick and easy that's good for you, what would it be? And I think the things that she has to show today, I'm excited. Normally, I got to explain this. Normally, I would do this whole thing with Annette, which is called Making It with Annette, where I'd be in the kitchen and my kitchen. She'd be in her kitchen and we'd be making whatever it is together. And we had this whole to-do, me and Dolly, about anyone who's watched this before, you understand, we wanted to do a 30-minute show and we've learned that we can't do that.
Not really good at that.
Not yet. We're not there yet. And we just kind of got to the point of like, we don't want to feel rushed. We want this to be fun and whoever watches it, watches it. So anyways, because we made that decision, I had not arranged for myself to be in the kitchen, but I did make sure that I did some due diligence and I made something that one of the things that Annette's going to talk to you about. So why don't we go ahead and get the show on the road with what Annette's going to be bringing for us. Tell us what you're going to be sharing with us.
What you got, Annette?
Yeah, so I have a couple things that we're going to be doing. Very easy. They're just going to be 2 dips. So I decided to focus on kind of greener type things because with spring coming along, think green or think spring. And there's some really amazing foods that are especially focused for right now. I mean, I know a lot of anything green, if you can think of just light green as the buds start coming on the trees and the flowers start to bloom. You see a lot of that actually, and I shouldn't say those specific things, but you see a lot of the colors like that on the plates during springtime. So you'll see a lot of green type things. And of course, we've got St. Patrick's Day coming up. So if in case anybody celebrates that, these can be kind of like green items. They're not exactly Irish, but they are green items. So I'm going to make an avocado dill dip, and then also it's kind of like a green pea jalapeno and spring green onion hummus. So it's a little bit different, and I'm going to be putting that on a gourmet veggie board.
Wow, that sounds amazing. Okay, so you mentioned something on, I know, you mentioned something on the promo that you put together. That's really sweet. The video promo, and you were showing the vegetables that you had, wondering what are we going to do? What is this? So I wanted to tell you that I went to the store.
Oh,
and this is what one of those things looked like.
So when you put that up there, that looked like a heart.
Really?
So with the way she put it on the video, on her video, the shape of it made me think of the heart, the human heart.
Oh yeah, it does actually.
Because this is the heart of a goat's beast friend. I don't know.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Anita. You got it. Yes.
What is it?
I know I just made it up, but nothing. I don't even know. But when I saw her show this,
I'm confused.
I know you would be confused about the things I say, but that's okay. That's okay. When I saw this on the show, I was like, what is it? And then I obviously found out what it is because when I went to the store, I was like, oh, because they put the name on there. But if anyone out there who's watching.
So that's
cool.
What it looks like when it's not cut up or it's not peeled, but that's a celery root. So it's a celeriac. So celeriac or celery root is the root of the celery. So the celery obviously grows from there. And we know that celery, so here's a little fun tip. Celery is not a vegetable, right? Celery is an herb.
Right.
So, and herbs are, so celery is extremely cleansing for the body. Very, very hydrating. Super, super, so many benefits. It's kind of like a superfood, if you will, but it is very good especially for springtime, but good for all year round. But celery is an herb. Yes.
I would have thought that maybe the leaves of the celery were the herb, and then the rest of it was
this is the root. But the celery itself, yes, is an herb. So you get the celery stalks. That's an herb. That is not a vegetable.
That's
Right.
pretty cool. I
really
did not.
Yeah.
So the celeriac.
Yeah, so this is celeriac, and it's celery. So basically what you have, it's a very funky looking food, obviously, but what you can do is you can peel it with a vegetable peeler. So that's really what I did. And then I cut it in half, but that's what it looks like. So it's peeled.
Okay.
And then I just cut it in half.
Huh.
This is soft. It's really hard.
It's a little bit more firm. I mean, when you cut it, it's definitely a little it's in the middle there. It's a little bit more firm, so it's not super soft. But you can eat this raw, and you can also eat it cooked. It sweetens up the flavor once you roast it or cook it. But you are able to just cut it, which is going to be on the veggie board. But you can cut it, and eat it raw. So it's crunchy.
So when you say it's going to be on the veggie board, you're saying that this is one of the things you'd slice and eat raw, just like you said. It's a raw thing, right? So so that's how you'd use it, to use in a dip and whatever. I'm okay. This is exciting.
Exactly.
I didn't know that.
Okay.
I never used
So
celery.
Right. So you can use the celery, and then you can also cut the root. So you can cut the celeriac, and you can dip, use the celeriac as a dipper as well. So you can use this and dip it. I like to put it on the veggie board because it's raw, it's crunchy, and it's a very light flavor. So it has a light kind of celery flavor. It's not like strong, but it's a little rooty. It tastes like, but it's very good.
I have to try that. I'm so excited about that. Okay.
Curious now.
So when it comes to actually, like you said, you can cook it.
Yep.
It's like all the other roots, root vegetables. I know it's not a well, wait a minute. The root,
yeah,
is a vegetable.
The celeriac root, it's just a root. I mean, I guess you can consider it's the root of the herb. So
the root of the herb.
You can probably call it that, but yeah, it's the root of the herb. So it's the actual root. Yeah.
That is so funny. So I can cut that up and put it and roast it. Have you done that? Does it taste like sweeter because you cooked it?
Yeah, it sweetens up a little bit. Yeah, I usually like to do it with, so sometimes when I do it raw, I'll put it in a salad. I'll cut it up raw with apples. So apples and celery or celeriac root go really nicely together with a little bit of,
I'm putting notes.
A really light vinaigrette. So you can do like onion, apple, and some celeriac root, and a little bit of like pistachios, or you can put, throw some nuts or seeds into the salad.
Can it be?
You see what I'm saying? We didn't even really start the show, and she's already told us what to do. I love it.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking of replacing potatoes with that because it's kind of crunchy. The hardness is not too soft. I mean, immediately I think about chicken stew.
Oh, you can do that. I mean, you can put it in soup. Absolutely. You can do it in soup. I like potatoes. They are a different flavor profile, but you can definitely do that if you'd like. When I saute them or I roast them, I will do that sometimes with like fennel and onion. So I could like roast fennel, roast onion, or saute fennel and onion, and then the celeriac. So in a little bit of coconut oil or avocado oil, and it's really, really good. It's a little salt and pepper. You don't need a lot.
One day I'm just gonna hire you to be my chef for the evening, and I'm gonna have fun because you're so damn good. All right, what's the next ingredient? What do you have?
Okay, yeah, well that's sweet. Thank you. So yeah, we're gonna do the 2 dips. I can do that, but I was also showing a couple things that I was going to be using on the board. And so I've got this that I've already peeled. It is a candy cane beet, so it's called a Kyoja beet.
I love those, and I couldn't find them today. I just got I got the golden beets today.
That's okay. That's perfect. I
like yours better. It's so pretty. I had cut one. I think you may have seen it on the picture. Cool. But I cut one, and it was a perfect heart. I was so excited. And they are very tasty. They're very tasty.
Yes. So they're a little bit, so it depends, like with the red beet, they're going to be sweeter. They're a little more earthy, but with these, the candy cane or the Kyoja beets are actually a little bit sweeter, and they're lighter in flavor. So you'll probably even have with the golden beet, it's going to be even a little bit sweeter, still a little rooty, but it may be even sweeter than this one. But it's a very nice flavor. It's awesome to put on a veggie board because of the color and because obviously of the nutrients that it provides, but it's just the color is so nice.
So, okay. So this is really great news because I didn't know what I would be doing with this, but now I realize these are things that we use as the dipper. Like,
Yeah.
like this is going to be eaten raw.
Yeah.
And okay, this is very exciting.
Annette, I just have to say, that looks beautiful, but I just have to say that I feel like I need a glossary with you.
Yeah. That's why you have me.
I know.
I'm the glossary.
Thank you. You're the best.
I love it. I think it's great. So let's see what you're gonna do. Yeah.
Okay, so and one last thing I was going to mention is this is pretty radish. It's a watermelon radish, so it's got a gorgeous
I've always
pink on the
wanted to know
inside.
what you use. I've always wanted to know what you use.
Do
Listen,
you pick
everyone who's
foods
watching
just
this.
because of the colors?
Pardon?
Sorry. Do you pick foods just because of the colors?
Sometimes I do, but you know what? I love, that's why I love what our creator gave us is, God gave us so many gorgeous foods and it's like, let's just put them together. And so, yeah, sometimes I actually do that, but sometimes I can't pass things up because I'm like, oh, I want to play with this one. I want to play with that. I want to put them together because it's going to pop.
Like Dolly, I mean, come on. I'm wearing black. We were just talking about this before she came on the show. You chose to wear that color, right? So this is like this is how Annette is. Everyone else goes to the store and like buys black like me. And then here's Annette who's like you, where she's like, I'm going to find a watermelon. What's it called?
Watermelon. It's a radish.
I want a watermelon radish. What?
Anita, I'm supposed to be the black and white one, and you're the one who's always very super colorful.
I don't know, but I know this.
Look at the contrast. Anyway, this is really cool.
Yeah. What I was going to say was that when we look at Annette's food, every time if you follow her on Passionate Palette, or if you know her already, and you see the pictures, and I know you've seen it point blank when you come to my retreat, and there she was. I had Annette at my retreat, and she prepares these foods. She truly takes care of selecting, and you heard what she said. God created this. These are here. They're available. These weren't the man-made things. This is God-made things. So they're here, and she literally goes and selects these things, and now you see the salad that's like so beautiful, and it's all good for you. So I never heard, I might be the only one among the food aficionados out there, but I never heard of a watermelon radish, and it is so pretty.
Yeah, they're gorgeous.
It is about being pretty.
What else?
Okay. I have a lot of things on the board, but I will show you first how to make the dips so we can eat whatever's on the board and then use our beautiful dips. How does that sound?
That sounds great. Show us what to do.
Okay, very simple. So this one is really easy. It is the avocado dill dip. So all I'm going to do, it's not a lot, but so I'm actually putting it into my blender cup. But I'm going to use now, instead of using any foods that can contribute to inflammation in the body, which of course you were talking about cleansing and really watching exactly what it is that we're eating. I don't want it to be restrictive and say like we're watching what we eat, but we want to make sure to take away or try to avoid if you've got any inflammation, or I can get into that another time, but any health ailments, dairy is a big, I guess, contributor, if you will, to inflammation next to wheat. Eggs is a big one too, soy and corn. So I stay away from dairy. And so I'm going to use coconut milk in this to thicken it up and make it really nice and creamy as well. You can use the different type of milk if you'd like it a little less flavorful. So if you want with the coconut, so you can actually use like oat milk, or or you can use like almond milk or something else. I'm going to start adding that in here, and all I'm going to do is, this is probably about 3/4 cups of coconut milk, and you can see it's pretty creamy. And then I'm going to add 1 avocado. So instead of using a half avocado, I'm just going to use the full avocado and put that directly in here as well. So you'll see that's what we're putting in. Again, very easy. Almost looks like we're making a smoothie.
Right.
Okay, and then I'm just going to add in some lemon juice. So this is extremely hydrating for your body. Lemon juice is so wonderful for cleansing, especially early in the morning. So if you wake up, start off with a glass of water with some fresh squeezed lemon juice in there. Extremely hydrating to the body. After you've been sleeping, your body wants to be hydrated. You wake up, you want to break your fast, have breakfast. That's what break fast is, breakfast, breaking your fast. But you also want to break your fast with having a glass of water with lemon or lime juice in it in the morning, because it's really hydrating. So that's lemon. Just gonna add a little bit of salt. So salt or pepper, and pepper to taste. And then I have some garlic powder and dill that I'm putting in there. So they're probably about like a teaspoon each. So if you want to do like a teaspoon of the dill the dill, and then also some garlic powder, and then some onion powder as well. That's it. So I'm going to just go ahead and blend that. You'll see what that looks like as a dip.
So, okay, I'll let you go ahead and do that before I
That just looks too simple.
She looks so pretty when she's mixing the stuff. She's so pretty.
Look at her. She's perfect. And that blue on you is gorgeous.
I know, it's really pretty.
I love this color blue. It's one of my favorite colors.
It suits you. It totally suits you. Okay, so I made it myself, and because I wasn't going to be in the kitchen, I made a decision to make sure at least I had made it. So I did the same dip, and I have some questions for you.
Well, we have a quick question here from one of the
look at that. Okay, look, you see that?
Oh, see, that looks
good because I can't stir it.
Yep.
That looks really good. That looks good. We have a question here.
Freaking did it.
We have a question here from a viewer, from Stephen.
Yeah.
Asking, what does the chef think about intermittent fasting?
Stephen!
Great question.
Yeah.
I'll show you this first, and then I will absolutely go ahead and mention that.
Beautiful.
So it's really, really easy, very nice for dipping. Okay, there we go. So and it holds up nicely. It's a dip. I mean, because it's got the avocado and of course the coconut milk to be to hold it together and be really nice and creamy. So
you're making me hungry.
Good. That's the whole point.
Oh my goodness. That was easy. I could do that. Even Dolly can do that.
Yes, Dolly, you can. Like that. Now you just saw what she did. That really, really was easy, because I can say that. And I like to do things that are, quick and easy. Like that's what I want to do. So when it comes down to it, when I thought about, okay, I just needed an avocado, I needed a lemon, I already have the salt and pepper, I already have the garlic and onion. The only thing I didn't have was dill. And my question, and I know I want to get to Stephen too for his question, but so thank you, Stephen. Hold on a second. So we have the dill that you probably got out of the bottle. It's already put in there. What if you get the fresh dill that was at the store in those little containers, like basil and stuff like that?
Even better. Yeah, just make sure you chop it up before you put it in there, because then you're going to take off the stems, but don't throw the stems away. Put that into a bag so you can make veggie stock, or use that in your soups. Or you can actually eat the dill like stem. So they're very nutritious. So don't throw those away. Just use the dill fronds, and you can put the fronds in there.
Well, I will do that next time, because this time I didn't get a chance to ask you. I was rushing. So I just put the thing in there. I didn't put all of it, but I just put like one thing. So the fronds and the frill. Did I say that right? Did I say that right? The fronds and the frill all went in there, and I can't tell me it tastes like dill. It's great.
Yeah. And that's fine too. You can chop it all up and put it all in there if you want to. So yes. I don't like to
anything you want.
Thank you. Okay. So Stephen asked about, what does chef think about intermittent fasting?
Yeah. So I think it actually depends on I think it depends on where you're at in your health journey, because if it depends on where someone really is starting or what's going on. Of course, I always want to make sure too, looking at like nutrient deficiencies and whatever's going on, because I wouldn't just push somebody into intermittent fasting if they're super, they're not absorbing a lot of nutrients, or they're very nutrient deficient. But just depends on where you're at. I do like it here and there if you're doing it. The only thing I always like to mention and encourage everyone to think about is that we already have a fasting mechanism built in that's just how it is through sleeping. So sleeping is a built-in fasting mechanism. Hopefully, if someone's going to sleep around like 10 11 or 12, maybe not like Dolly going to bed at 4 and getting up.
I was just thinking, so I didn't do too well last night.
But it's okay. You know, it's just that our bodies repair so much when we're sleeping. That's why sleep is so imperative to have. And that's why also, because we are fasting when we're sleeping, you know, obviously we're hopefully not getting up to go in the middle of the night to the refrigerator or eating, but that's what's built. It's a built-in mechanism. Some people do.
Dolly's laughing because she does.
Well, no, because I'm laughing because the other night, it was like 12:30 at night, and I go to Hector and I said to him, you know, I'm really in the mood for a pizza.
Oh.
And he's like, and then he goes, I can go for pizza. We
So,
did it.
So Dolly represents everything you don't want to learn on the show today.
Oh, we did it. But I will say this: he woke up wanting pizza. So, like at 7:30 in the morning, he goes, "So, you want to go pick one up?"
Yeah.
So let me just make sure I understand what's going on here. So when it comes down to the intermittent fasting, you're really saying, in summary here, that there are a lot of people that do this, and there's so much I've learned about that in terms of there's different hours you can choose from and stuff like that. But really what you're saying is our body's already going through an intermittent fasting, which is actually why you brought up the term break fast, which is
I love that.
So is there really a need to be fasting again if our body's already gone through the normal hours of sleep should be around 7.5 hours. If we can get ourselves that sleep, that's what it should be for the average human being, sometimes 6, depending on whatever, another story of the day. But when you have that length of time that's gone, and I guess if I'm right, you can correct me if I'm wrong here, that the average human being, if you're living an active, good life, that you should be eating like every 3 hours. You know, you have breakfast, then you have a snack, then you have lunch, then you have a snack, then you have, is that right?
Yes. So the good thing about eating a little bit more often and having, you know, like snacks or smaller portions throughout the day, which, you know, again, everybody's body is just a little bit different. So as a human, we do all function similarly, but again, everybody's different. Now, again, women need a lot more sleep than men. So this is not a made up thing. So if you're like, hey, I just need to sleep a little longer. And if you're, you know, again, if you have a husband or your partner or whatever, women, you know, and they say like, well, you know, we only need a couple hours or whatever, you know, we need the same. No, women need more sleep than men. We just do. It just is what it is. So we do. But also, yeah, for the whole eating piece, I would say every couple hours, because depends where your health is at again, of course, but because it keeps your blood sugar stabilized. And it also helps to really give your adrenals some nutrients. So your adrenals, right? Your adrenal glands really want the nutrients. So we say trying to eat every couple hours to keep your blood sugar stabilized, to keep your body stabilized, to continue giving it good nutrients and fuel to keep moving. So when you find that people aren't eating for a very long time, again, it depends on what program you're working with. If that's what's going on, you know, people may find themselves getting a little angry or a little hungry or just anxious or, you know, because you're not eating for a period of time. So it really just depends on where you're at. I'm not against it.
Dolly is just giggles Cortez today.
Sorry, because I see myself in everything that you're talking about, Annette, and I'm just doing the complete opposite.
Or maybe I'm just like in a very serious mood because I'm just like ready to know what's next. But
no, I think it's fantastic. I think everything that Annette is sharing with us is fantabulous. Okay.
Well, no, listen. I just I just wrote down in my head, Dolly. I just wrote down, listening to what she just said. I don't know if you had seen me laughing in the background, not laughing, but like a big smile. Now I know the dialogue that I can say that I never thought I could when I decide that I can sleep in, that I can say to my husband, you go to work, honey. I'm going to sleep in because I'm a woman.
There you go.
I didn't tell him that.
I have a backup plan when he's like, what do you mean you're a woman? I'll be like, Annette said so.
Don't have him come to me.
Annette said that I'm a woman. I can sleep in. No, anyway, I love what you said. I want to research that more, meaning like I'm very I never knew that. And I think that it does seem to make a lot of sense. And I never did that. I know that
There's
I've been working on trying to, my sleep habits, you know, it fluctuates because of work and what I do, you know, what I choose to do after work. But like, I have always wanted to make sure that I'm eating my meals, but that when I get myself, my sleep deprivation was my issue. Cause I want to keep doing whatever I'm, you know, I work late and I want to keep researching and I want to keep writing, but I need to make sure that I get myself the hours. And I've gotten myself to the point where there's no alarm clock, where I'm waking up and I'm going to bed and that there's no alarm telling me to get up, you know, at around 6:30, 7 o'clock, I'm up.
right.
You know, it hurts when I go to bed late, but it's wonderful when I do it right. But with the food, I didn't realize the information that you shared. So that was great. That's really, so the food that we've created here that you're going to show us what you've done.
Well, she has
After,
another dip, right?
you're going to do the second dip though, right? Yeah. Are you going to do the second dip or just one dip? Ooh, we get two dips.
We're ready. Go for it.
Okay.
Dip. Ow. There's a song. I knew that song. I missed that song. Remember that song?
Dip. Yes. I know that song
Too
too.
bad we can't play songs on here without, you know, Facebook police getting mad at us, but there are songs.
That's a whole other story. So we'll move into this then, obviously.
Right from the dip.
Yeah, so we're gonna do a really nice spring pea, and of course it's just gonna be a little bit more green hummus. So you can do different things with this hummus and just add different things to it. You know, you can go to the store to purchase this to make it a lot easier. You can purchase just a regular hummus, and then you can, like an original, and then you can bring it home, dump it into the food processor, and then just add your little, you know, whatever goodies you want to add to it. So just to kind of make it your own if you'd like.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is just start off with, I just have a can, this is just one strained can of chickpeas. So I'm just going to put that directly into the food processor. And then I'm going to add, I have about a cup of spring peas. Now I didn't cook these. These are just raw. So they were frozen and I thawed them. So I'm just going to put those directly into here. Very simple. And then I wanted to add, you have a question?
No, I said, okay.
Okay, so yeah, we're gonna add
I'm muted.
lemon juice, just juice of a half a lemon into there. And then I have, if you like it spicy, which we do, I'm actually gonna be adding a half a jalapeno in there. I'm not chopping it up. I didn't take the seeds out. I just cut it directly in half. So I'm just gonna add, it was a pretty big jalapeno. So I just kind of cut it in half and then I cut it in half again.
Right.
All right. And then the other things I'm adding, I'm just putting 3 garlic cloves in there because I really like garlic as well. And then you want to put some cumin in there too. So I've got some dried cumin, putting that in there. And then a couple last things, but I've got the beautiful green onions. So I'm putting that directly in there too. The couple things that I'm not adding right now, because I'm going to blend this, I'm just not going to add the liquid. So I wanted to add in all of those things. The 2 liquids that I'm going to use are olive oil and then some of that aquafaba, which is actually the canned, you know, whatever the liquid is in the can for the chickpeas. Instead of straining it and throwing it into the garbage or down the sink, just put it, I put it off to the side and I'm going to use that to liquefy. Otherwise, you can use water.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay, so the last thing I'm putting in there is just the tahini.
I was just going to ask about that. Okay.
Yes. So we've got our tahini that we're putting in there, which obviously is sesame seeds. It's just like a sesame seed butter or paste, if you will. So it's just like peanut butter. Okay, and then that's it. So I'm just putting that in there. I'm going to put the top on and then we're going to blend it. And then I'm going to add in a little bit of the olive oil and the chickpea liquid or the aquafaba, which is right here. And then if I need a little bit extra anything, I'm going to put some water in there. So I'm going to just put it on high. Shouldn't take long. I don't like it super creamy all the time. Depends on what you're doing. I still like it a little chunky. So you'll notice, obviously, when we start blending it, what it's going to look like. So I'm just going to put that on right now.
That's wonderful, because I just noticed that when she goes and she's running that thing, that's super loud, but the microphone actually minimizes it.
Yeah.
That's the aquafaba. It sounds so fancy. Whoever made up that word for whatever the liquid inside of the chickpea can.
Okay.
It's not like chickpea juice. We call it aquafaba. Aquafaba. It sounds like a drink. I'd like an order of
That's
a
it.
martini and an aquafaba, please. Like it totally sounds like a fancy drink at a bar.
Aquafaba.
Yeah, like can you see yourself? Yeah, can you like I'd like one Mai Tai, one Midori martini, and an aquafaba, please? That'd be great.
Yep.
That would be awesome. Yes. That's all. Yes, aquafaba. So that is and instead of using, aquafaba is used for a lot of different things in vegan and plant-based cooking. Instead of instead of using it like a meringue, so it's used as like an egg wash. Instead of using egg, you can use aquafaba or that whatever comes directly from the chickpea can. So
I told you have to write notes. This is incredible. I didn't know that.
It's incredible. That's what I'm saying. We need a glossary.
That's why you have me. If you need me.
Yeah, she's wonderful. I mean, Annette, like that just tells you how much we don't know. That's all around us all the time.
Oh yeah, I don't know Jack.
This is stuff
I'm done when it comes to that.
You don't have to forage in the woods for these things. They're at the grocery store.
They are.
Aquafaba. I'm going to say aquafaba with glasses because it makes me feel very, very.
No, you need your sunglasses on, darling. You're gonna need it. You need your sunglasses on.
I know. I don't have that. Yeah.
And voila! Look at that.
Oh.
Yeah. So if you can see that, I'm gonna grab a little bit. So this is the hummus. This is that again. The jalapeno. The spring.
Bring it back a little bit. Bring it back a little bit. Okay. Yeah. That looks nice. It looks kind of like guacamole.
Yes. Yep.
And that I know.
Yes. So you can do, if you wanted to do that, like a guacamole, you can even do like the hummus and the avocado together, and it's a really nice flavor with some of the onion and jalapeno instead of the spring peas. You can put in the avocado.
Ooh, I have the other half of the avocado.
That sounds
good.
Really does.
I have the other half of the avocado, so maybe I'll try doing that tomorrow.
Yeah, you should.
Let me tell you, all you people out there, and these two lovely ladies, this dip that I just made with her, the first one, the avocado one. Do we call it the avocado dill dip? Is that what you call it?
Avocado dill dip. Yeah.
I just want to tell you that at least from my experience right now, this was very easy to make. I realized that my food processor had broken some time ago. It's an old one, and it reached its end. So I forgot that I needed to get another one, which one day later on, I had a Vitamix. So I put it all in the Vitamix, and it turned out, as I showed you earlier, turned out good. And the taste is really delicious. So I want to say thank you. That was really delicious. I didn't want to look like I was a total pig here on the show, but every time that they were focusing on you, I'm like, chew, chew, chew.
I saw you.
What you did.
That's okay.
It's okay. You're eating healthy.
You just want to enjoy it. That's the whole thing. So I'm very happy. So I wanted to show you the finished product too, because I did put, and again, this is just as an example. So in case anybody wants any ideas on how you can use these dips, obviously putting them on a veggie board is really nice. So I am showing you some of those gorgeous veggies that we used. So if you could see that here.
Oh my God. You know what? You set it down, and maybe you can move the camera. Can you just switch the camera?
If you'd like, I can move the camera. Yes.
Yeah, because I'm so nervous.
See
my God.
Huh?
I'm gonna come over and just hang out with you so I can eat that.
Well, I need help. Now I have a lot of food here. Let's see if you can see the. Woo! There we go. We're kind of flipping around there. How fun is that? Great. So if you can see,
look at that.
That looks amazing.
Yeah, and you've got the beautiful beets there. Obviously, the radishes are here. The colored radishes. I've got purple cauliflower.
Oh my gosh, look at that.
It's all about color. The tomatoes.
This is like Prince's charcuterie. How do you say it?
Yeah, charcuterie plate. Yep.
So it's like the Prince 1980s Prince charcuterie board.
Okay, is that because
It's all purple. It's like purple
purple?
rain.
Oh,
Don't
well,
you
yes.
get it? Come on. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. It's really, it's spring.
Yeah, well,
That's gorgeous.
exactly. And that's the one thing I like to think about is, I mean, you can do this at any point in time during the year, but I love it like in the springtime and in the summer with all of the color, just because it's so bright and you just start thinking of everything just reemerging in the springtime. So you're kind of in hibernation in the winter, and that's rest. That's a restful period. There is such a, I love the seasons because there is a time for every season, and there is such a reason for every season. And doing, having that in like winter time, and then in spring we start to reemerge with a lot of colors, and then summer is just very active and a ton of colors, and then we go to fall, which is still beautiful with our colors, but they start to shift, and then we go back into a hibernation. So there's definitely reasons, and I love the color in all of the food for spring especially. So that's the name of my cleanse too. It's called Color Your Plate, because I want to focus on all of the different nutrients and colors in all of these foods, because there's so many different things in here, especially raw foods, but cooked foods too, but raw, that really cleanse your body. And I want to just mention too, I like what you ladies had mentioned actually about breathing, because breathing is probably one of the #1 best ways to cleanse your body. And we don't think about that, but that's actually a lot of breath work, or if you're doing breathing, that's the way we need to cleanse. That's a huge piece of cleansing, and it's free. It's free. So that's, but the colorful, yes, I love color because it really just invites you to want to eat that. And it really is so healing for your body. Even just by looking at it, there's healing going on. And then you put it in your body and there's more healing going on.
Right.
And wow. Wow, I am so impressed every single time you come.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's phenomenal. It's absolutely beautiful, the work that you do.
Thank you.
So Annette, my question to you though is, when you talked about the colors, the selection of the food that you have, do you know if there's any kind of like an emotional connection that you see people going through the doing a cleanse like this?
Yeah.
When we get past the frustration of having to change things around, what do you know about that?
Okay, so I will say one of the key reasons for people actually getting frustrated is because they're hungry. And when you're eating a lot of food and you're eating a good portion of true, real food, your body starts to balance out when you're giving it the right nutrients. So of course, when you're like, oh, I feel like I have to eat like a bird, or I have to do, I'm eating cardboard. That's not even, no. I mean, that's not what God designed for us. He gave us all these beautiful foods. And I look at everything out there in the soil and just the beautiful foods that he's given to us, and just out in Mother Nature, right? It's just, look at all the food we have, and people complain that, oh, I don't have enough, I can't eat anything. And it's like, there's a ton of food out there. There's tons and tons and tons. But I think when it comes to a cleanse or doing something like that, people get frustrated because they're usually like hungry. And the key is to keep satiated. But it's also like, it's there's such an emotional connection to it, and an association to, yes, why are you feeling so frustrated? There's absolutely emotions tied to that, memories tied to that. It's associated with something. And sometimes you may not know right off the bat, but that's something we dive into also a little bit in the cleanse, the program, and then just the health coaching immersion program that I do. But yes, I want to stress that it's always emotional.
Yeah.
Whether it's good or bad. Yes.
It is. I always say I'm an emotional eater. When I'm having a bad day, I eat crap. When I'm stressed out, I do. And I'm the first one to admit it. I am like, I get frustrated. Something's not going right.
You're not alone. Most of America does. Most of people do. We go for the fried foods. We go for the sweet foods. We go for those things. But I think to kind of summarize on what I got out of this, which was really great. And besides the fact that the food is very good and beautiful, as anyone here that saw this, when you see things that are so pretty, you think it's got to be fake. It can't be real. It can't be good for you because it's just too pretty. And then you realize, you take a bite out of it. I'm telling you, I was that person that ate whatever. And I love pizza. I love hamburgers. I love hot dogs. I love eating the American way, is what it was a long time ago. And that American way, no disrespect to America, because I love the country. It's just, we've learned from the studies that it's hurting our bodies and our immune system. And so when you can start actually adding some better things into your diet and start appreciating the flavors, I noticed this with feelings wise, emotional wise, that when you can get yourself to doing a cleanse and you can push through those hard moments of withdrawal, and you keep eating those types of foods, you're going to see that. Now, someone like Annette already knows, but I know from my experience that once upon a time, a carrot just tasted like a carrot and there's no flavor and I could care less. Okay. Then after the withdrawals went away and I went back to eating different vegetables, I could taste the sweet. And that is what is imperative, because there actually is sugar in these things. There is normal, regular sugar. And what ends up happening to you is your brain isn't foggy anymore. You sleep better. You feel excited and have an energy, and it makes you want to work. And you never, ever thought that you would not eat. Like, you're full for a much longer period of time. It was very surprising. I do recommend going on a detox or a cleanse. I know that Annette has the route for you to go on. I highly recommend her to talk to you about it. Look into it on your own if you need to, but she's right here. And like you've heard her say throughout the show, just ask me. I'll answer you. I'll talk to you. I'll help
How
you.
can people reach you, Annette?
Yeah, so you can find me. I have my website, which is passionnettepalette.com. I am on Facebook. I also have a closed Facebook group in case anybody wants to be added to that. It is called Holistically Healthy. And then I'm on Instagram and LinkedIn as well. So there's multiple ways to reach out to me. So yeah,
I just do me a favor. Spell. I always mess it up. Spell Passionate Palette for me.
Yeah, you got it. So being a play on my name, so it's PASSIONETTE. So Passionette. And then palette is just like your palette. So yep. PALATE.
Got it.
Yes.
There it is.
Here we go.
Thank you.
Well,
yes.
We are at an hour already with this amazing chef, which we are so grateful for. Annette, you are just such a blessing. We love having you come into the show because you bring so much incredible information, helping our viewers, helping us. And, it just makes me realize I really need to do something.
It's okay.
But it's all good. It's all good. Thank you. I appreciate
yes. Well, thank you, ladies, so very much as usual. I really, really appreciate it. And I hope everybody out there too has a wonderful rest of your evening. And if you need to reach me, feel free to reach out on any one of those social media platforms, or, join one of the cleanses, the programs, or even just a virtual cooking class. So thank you, ladies.
Sounds great.
You, Annette.
Thank you so much.
We'll talk again soon.
Wow. I just love
that. Did you see that board? Did you see that board? That's what I love. She always brings greens and pinks and purples and yellows and, there's a whole rainbow and then some, everything in between.
And what I like is that every time I've been around her and she has one of these amazing meals prepared, you just want to eat healthy. It's like you really enjoy it.
I think it's because the and I'm telling you, because I'm like in between you and her, meaning I know what you mean by the things that you eat and what tastes good and what you'd rather do. And I also understand why she thinks that this is really a great way to eat, because she practices it all the time. Plus right. She has a passion for what she does. And then for me, I swing, in all honesty, I swing from one end to another, depending on obviously hibernation. Sometimes I really feel like I just want to have a good stew. But I don't always sit and think about what are the most healthiest ingredients that I could put in here. Sometimes I just grab what I can from the grocery store and I whip it up really quickly. Other times, to have the knowledge of making it changes everything. To be able to actually, like, if you can go to one of her workshops, I know with the pandemic, I don't think she has,
she's doing it virtually. She's doing the
eventually when everything opens up. So when I went to her workshops, that helped me because I was able to physically see everything. She's right there. I'm trying the dishes that she has, but even still with virtual, you've seen it because of our quarterly meetings and she shows up and she has stuff. I've learned to make so many things, and it's not complicated. It's
Right.
something that we can all get from the store very easily, and we probably use all these ingredients for something else.
Well, but I think, Anita, that sometimes the problem is habit too. It's a habit. Like with me, I can see, I'm like, all right, what am I going to get? I'm going to get the same staples that I always get when I go to the grocery store, and also cultural, because I love Spanish food. I love Puerto Rican food. I love Mexican food. So I kind of like stick with those,
your habit. Yeah, it's your thing.
It's the habit. But it's a bad habit too.
Well, every once in a while, maybe you can try on your own. Maybe you can try one new dish from Annette's World a month or a week. And
I may have to do that. But anyway, Anita, as usual, it is a pleasure to host the DNA Authority with you. And thank you so much for everything that you do. Your hair looks great. I just love your hair. You're beautiful as always.
Yes, thank your son, and thank you for saying that. You're very sweet and kind. I just love you. Thank you for the time you spent on the show with me. And listen, anyone who's watching the show right now, if you're interested in learning more about what we do and how we can help you in the world, for me, it's my world of emotional intelligence. And obviously, you're noticing all I care about is where's the emotional element in the food that we're eating. So if you're looking for ways of making things better for yourself and your life, breathing exercises, being able to conquer a lot of those challenges and getting your emotional landscape in a really good way, you want to talk with me and I'll be glad to talk with you. And as for Dolly,
yeah, you want to tell me what I do?
He's going to tell you all about how to eat better. No, I'm kidding.
Yes. Well, with me, it's all about writing to heal. So I am the founder of Rose Gold Publishing, and it is my pleasure to be working with individuals that want to heal from their past traumatic experiences so their voices can be heard. And
That's it, baby.
Yeah, that's it, baby. And with that being said, everyone, have a good night.
All right. Thanks. Take care. Bye.